I'm Chap Bettis, author of The Disciple Making Parent, and this is my audioblog, where I read some of my blog posts in audio format for your convenience. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be thinking about 12 principles to guide our media use in our family. We need to have a media plan and monitor our children's media. You know, any study on the media is going to be outdated as soon as it's released. But one study found teens were using 9 hours of media a day, and that didn't include texting, school, and homework. Another study put it at 11 hours because teens were multitasking. More than 70% said they had TVs in their bedroom, and 66% reported a TV on during the meals. Not surprisingly, only about one half of the parents had rules for media use. As anyone who knows a teen or tween can attest, media is among the most powerful forces in young people's lives today. The TV shows they watch, video games they play, songs they listen to, books they read, and websites they visit are an enormous part of their lives, offering a constant stream of messages about the world, about families, about peers, about relationships, gender roles, sex, violence, food, and values. Neil Postman said that the TV curriculum competes with the school curriculum and nearly obliterates it. Well, I think that applies to the media today. Media can be a very powerful tool for good or for evil. We need to consider Jesus' teaching in Matthew chapter 18. He said this, "If anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It's better for you to enter life maimed or crippled than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. And if your eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It's better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell." That's Matthew 18, 6-9. I want to suggest that disciple-making parents will equip their children to rule over this temptation. And let me give you 12 suggestions to consider. The first is this, we need to be intentional in our own media use. Are you always watching TV? Are you always checking your phone? What are your kids learning by watching you? Number 2, be intentional about any media you allow in your home. Don't put TVs in the bedroom. Don't put screens in the bedroom. Be intentional. Number 3, don't give them more responsibility than they can handle. Don't worry about being countercultural. Start them out on a dumb phone. There's nothing wrong with that. A smartphone is very powerful and very addictive. If they're laughed at, tell them it's good for them. Are they going to be a leader or a lemming? You're training them to be a leader. So don't give them more responsibility than they can handle. Number 4, when you take the next step to more freedom, make sure they understand the responsibility that goes with it. I would suggest having some sort of written contract. Kids forget that all the benefits you give them are just that, benefits. So, number 4, when you take the next step, make sure they understand the responsibility. Number 5, make sure they know it's your phone. You know, my children didn't own a cell phone until they were 18. I, however, own 6 cell phones that I lent to them. You see the difference? We need to remind our kids of this. A well-known comedian tells a story about his kids coming home from school and being teased about how rich they were. And he responded, "Your mother and I are rich. You, my son, are very, very poor." He was making the point that the children lived off the generosity of the parents. We should have this attitude too. You are the parent, aren't you? This should go for grandparents too. I would suggest that it's wise for extended family not to give your children electronic devices. Otherwise, your children will think that these devices are theirs. You want them to know that they're yours and you're lending them to them. Number 6, make sure you have filters and controls in your house. We should have controls in our house, like Covenant Eyes or Disney Circle. I'm sure there are new ones out since I wrote this article. The internet is a sewer line plugged into your home and that device. Are you going to filter it? Are you going to let it pour into the heart of your child? So make sure you have filters and controls. Number 7, have family rules. Besides an individual agreement, like I mentioned in number 4, what are your family rules? It's your house. You might set up rules of time, like 30 minutes a day for a certain electronic device. You might set up rules of place. One family I know has a basket, and when the kids come over with phones, they all go in the basket. With changing technology, our family rules are out of date now, but you need to control technology or it will control you and your family. So number 7, have family rules. Number 8, be in a community that will work with you. When your kids think you're strange because you aren't doing what everyone else is doing, you want to be able to point out other families and say, well, we are strange, but so are the Smiths and the Joneses and the Johnsons. Talk with the youth leaders and the teachers of your kids who are keeping up with the latest problems. So be in a community that will work with you. Number 9, make sure you're talking to them on dates, listening, and asking hard questions. Ask them about what they've seen. Ask them to tell you about any cyberbullying they know about. Number 10, have family fasts. In the TechWise family, Andy Crouch argues for fasting 1 hour a day, 1 day a week, and 1 week a year. Another wise father of 3 children has a media-free week once a month. Our kids want this structure and freedom. So have family fasts. Number 11, go after the heart. Media magnifies our idols. Is our temptation lust, money, gossip, fear of man, loving approval, coveting a lifestyle? The media we choose will amplify and feed our idols. And then number 12, unfortunately, assume that they've seen explicit content. This is beyond the scope of this post, but we don't want to be naive, but we want to move towards them and move towards this awkward conversation. We need to take Jesus' words seriously. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they come. If your hand or foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. Thank you for listening to the Disciple Making Parent audio blog. This material is found in our video course, Parenting with Confidence. It's a video-driven study on the biblical foundations of parenting, and it's specifically aimed at parents of young children. You can find more information on our website or at parentingwithconfidencestudy.com. Thanks for listening.